Good morning, dear students of HSC first year. Welcome to my online class. Hope you all are keeping fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am Amir Sadat, Assistant Professor of English. Today I will deliver a lecture on Unit 5, Lesson 1, and the title of today's unit is Art and Music, and the title of the lesson is What is Beauty? So, from the very title, you come to know that today's topic is a fantastic topic, that is beauty. So at first we have to know that what is beauty? Beauty is easy to appreciate but difficult to define. The definition of beauty is the quality that provides pleasure to the senses or to the mind by behavior or attitude. As we look around, we can discover beauty in pleasurable objects and natures. We can find beauty in nature. We can find beauty in the laughter of the children. We can find beauty in the kindness of strangers. But we cannot define beauty. Again, ugliness has as much a place in our lives as beauty has. Philosophers have told that beauty and ugliness are two sides of the same coin. Poets and artists have incorporated both into their work, and thus they have often tied beauty to truth and justice. So, dear learners, today we will discuss what is beauty, and I will read the text thoroughly. After that, we will practice some MCQ type of questions, clause test with clues, clause test without clues, and after that we will discuss some open-ended questions. For a better discussion, I have made a slide presentation for you. So let's go to the slide presentation and enjoy today's class. Well, dear learners, before going to start discussion of today's class, let's have a look on today's class outline. From today's class, you will know Unit 5, Lesson 1. Today we will study Unit 5, Lesson 1, and the title of today's lesson is What is Beauty? So it is a very fantastic lesson for you. Then I will discuss summary of the passage. After that, I will discuss the vocabulary with synonyms and antonyms. Then choose the best answer. I have made some MCQ type of questions for you for practice. Then clause test with clues. I have made a clause test for you which will help you to understand the passage more effectively. Then clause test without clues, and after that I have made some open-ended questions to practice today's text. Today I will discuss Unit 5, and the title of today's unit is Art and Music, and the title of the lesson is What is Beauty? Okay, let's start the text. What is beauty? Beauty is easy to appreciate but difficult to define. As we look around, we discover beauty in pleasurable objects and sights, in nature, in the laughter of children, in the kindness of strangers. But asked to define, we run into difficulties. Does beauty have an independent objective identity? It is universal, or is it dependent on our sense perceptions? Does it lie in the eye of the beholder? We ask ourselves. A further difficulty arises when beauty manifests itself not only by its presence but by its absence as well, as when we are repulsed by ugliness and desire beauty, but then ugliness has as much a place in our lives as beauty, or maybe more, as when there is widespread hunger and injustice in a society. So beauty is very difficult to define. Philosophers have told us that beauty is an important part of life. But isn't ugliness a part of life too? And if art has beauty as an important ingredient, can it confine itself only to a projection of beauty? So, dear students, you can see here is a lot of question about beauty. Can art ignore what is not beautiful? Poets and artists have provided an answer by incorporating both into their work. In doing so, they have often tied beauty to truth and justice, so that what is not beautiful assumes a tolerable proportion as something that represents some truth about life. John Keats, the Romantic poet, wrote in his celebrated Ode on a Grecian Urn, "Beauty is truth, truth beauty." This is a very famous quotation by John Keats. He writes Ode on a Grecian Urn that beauty is truth, truth beauty. Here, dear learners, you can see a picture of Grecian urn. Grecian urn. What is urn? Urn is a kind of vase which was used to keep the ashes of the dead body. Here in this urn you can see some pictures which are depicted in this urn, and basically this type of urn was used in Greece. So here Keats says that beauty is truth and truth beauty, by which he means that truth, even if it's not present, becomes beautiful at a higher level. Similarly, what is beautiful forever remains true. Another meaning in the context of the Grecian urn, an art object, is that truth is a condition of art. Poetry in every language celebrates beauty and truth. So does art. Here are two poems from two different times that present some enduring ideas about beauty and truth. The poems are by Lord Byron, 1788 to 1824. This is the lifespan of Lord Byron, an English poet of the Romantic tradition, and Emily Dickinson, and her lifespan was 1830 to 1886, an American poet who wrote about the human sin, love, and death. Okay, dear learners, after reading the text, I have made a summary of the passage. And I think this summary will help you understand the passage. What actually the writer wants to say, we will understand after reading the summary. As we look around, we discover beauty in pleasurable objects and sights. That is, in nature, in the laughter of the children, and in the kindness of the strangers. But we cannot define beauty. Again, ugliness has as much a place in our lives as beauty has. Philosophers have told us that beauty and ugliness are the two sides of the same coin. Poets and artists have incorporated both into their work. Thus, they have often tied beauty to truth and justice. Okay, this is the summary of the passage. Now, the vocabulary. I have made a vocabulary word meaning with synonyms and antonyms, and this I think will help you to make a strong and rich vocabulary. Okay, there is the first word, appreciate. It is a verb and its Bengali meaning is grohon kora or onudhaban kora. Its synonym is recognize or realize, and its antonym is depreciate. Define. Defined is a verb. Its Bengali meaning is shangaito kora, and its synonym is describe, explain, or specify, and its antonym is confuse. Pleasurable is an adjective. Its Bengali meaning is anandadayak. We know that pleasure means ananda and pleasurable means anandadayak. Its synonym is pleasant, attractive, and comfortable. You can use any synonym among these three synonyms, and the antonyms are painful, unpleasant, and disagreeable. Just the opposite of the synonym, and that is called antonym. And now objective. What is objective? Objective is an adjective. Its Bengali meaning is bostunisto, and its synonym is unbiased, concrete, or actual, and its antonym is subjective. Perception. Perception is a noun. Its Bengali meaning is upalobdhi, and its synonym is discernment, insight, comprehension, or feeling. And its antonym are ignorance, indifference, non-realization. Okay, manifest. Manifest is a verb. Its Bengali meaning is prodarshan kora. Manifest means prodarshan kora. Its synonym is reveal, represent, or exhibit. And its antonym is hide or conceal. Repulse. What is repulse? Repulse is a verb, and its Bengali meaning is ghrina janmano. And its synonyms are disgust, repel, rebuff. And its antonym are please or charm. Okay, here are some more words. Here is another word, widespread. Widespread is an adjective, and its Bengali meaning is byapok. Widespread means byapok, and its synonyms are existing or happening over a large area or among many people. And its antonym are local, narrow, or limited. Injustice. Injustice is a noun. Its Bengali meaning is onnai. Injustice means onnai. Its synonym is unfairness, and antonym is justice. Philosopher is a noun. Its Bengali meaning is darshanik. Philosopher means darshanik, and its synonym are metaphysician, theorist, and antonyms is realist. Ingredient. Ingredient is a noun. Its Bengali meaning is upadan. Its synonyms are element, factor, or component, and there are no antonym. Next word is projection. Projection is a noun, and its Bengali meaning is pratichhobi ba prokash. Projection means pratichhobi ba prokash, and its synonyms are reflection or presentation, and its antonyms are concealment or hiding. Incorporate. There is another very interesting and new word is incorporate. It is a verb, and its Bengali meaning is dharon kora, and its synonyms are embody or include, and its antonyms are exclude or divide. Then assume. Assume means parigraha kora ba dharon kora. Assume is a verb, and its Bengali meaning is parigraha kora ba dharona kora, and its synonyms are take on or put on, and its antonyms are hide or conceal. Tolerable. Tolerable is an adjective, and its Bengali meaning is সহনীয়. So tolerables mean সহনীয় বা কোনো কিছু সহনীয় পর্যায়ের কিছুকে tolerable বলে, and its synonyms are is bearable, and its antonym is intolerable. Represent. Represent is a verb, and its Bengali meaning is দেখানো বা তুলে ধরা, and its synonyms are show or portray or put up, and antonyms are distort or pervert or misrepresent. Context. So context is a noun, and its Bengali meaning is প্রেক্ষিত. So context means প্রেক্ষিত, কোনো কিছুর প্রেক্ষিতে কিছু বলা, in the context of we have used frequently, and its synonyms are situation or perspective, and its antonym is baselessness. Celebrate. So celebrate is another word. It's a verb, and its Bengali meaning is gunokirtan kora ba prashangsha kora, and its synonyms are praise or solemnize or honor, and its antonyms are ignore or disregard or overlook. Okay, dear learners, now choose the correct answer from the alternatives. I have made some MCQ type of questions. At first I will read the question, then you will give your answer in the comment box, and then we can judge the answer of yours. Let's start the question. The word confine refers to. The question is that the word confine refers to option 1 to bound, option 2 to disappear, option 3 to appear, and option 4 to limit. Now write down the answer in your comment box. Those who are in live, I think the answer is option 4, to limit. The word confine refers to limit. Next question B, like beauty, art, what? Option 1, ignores poetry. Option 2, celebrates poetry. Option 3, helps man to write poem. Option 4, helps us to understand poem. So which will be the correct answer for question B? So I think option 2 is the correct answer. Like beauty, art celebrates poetry. Like beauty, art also celebrates poetry. Okay, question 3. Question C. Philosophers have told us that. What the philosophers told? Okay, option 1, life is not endless. Option 2, beauty is an important part of life. Option 3, beauty is not everlasting. And option 4, beauty attracts everybody. So which will be the correct answer, student? I think option 2 is the correct answer. Philosophers have told us that beauty is an important part of life. Okay, next go to the next question. Question D. What has poetry done with beauty and truth in every language? What has poetry done with beauty and truth in every language? So there are 4 options. Option 1, celebrated. Option 2, highlighted. Option 3, ignored. And option 4, cornered. So which will be the correct answer? I think option 1 is the correct answer. What has poetry done with beauty and truth in every language? I think it is celebrated. Question E. The word repulsed stands for. What does the word repulsed mean? Number 1, option 1, disguised. Option 2, ignored. Option 3, attracted. And option 4, regarded. I think repulsed mean here ignored. Now question F. Beauty also prevails in. Option 1, truth. Option 2, pleasurable objects. Option 3, ugliness. And option 4, beautification. So beauty also prevails in, I think option 3, ugliness is the correct answer. There is a mistake. This is not option 2. This is actually option 3. So beauty also prevails in ugliness. Now question G. What is difficult to define? What is difficult to define? Option 1, truth. Option 2, beauty. Option 3, poetry. And option 4, philosophy. So what is difficult to define? What is difficult to define? I think the correct answer is option 2, beauty. Beauty is difficult to define. I again want to say to my students to write down the answer in your comment box, those who are live with me in my class. Option H, we discover beauty. Option 1, in movies. Option 2, in tourist center. Option 3, in pleasurable objects and sights. And option 4, in literature. So what will be the correct answer? We discover beauty. Option 3, in pleasurable objects and sights. And it is the correct answer. We can discover beauty both in pleasurable objects and sights. Now question I. What do we get in the laughter of children and kindness of strangers? What do we get in the laughter of the children and kindness of strangers? Option 1, beauty. Option 2, amusement. Option 3, truth. And option 4, happiness. So here beauty is the correct answer. What do we get in the laughter of children and kindness of strangers? Here I think beauty is the correct answer. In beauty we can get in the laughter of the children and the kindness of stranger we get beauty. Okay, option J, we face difficulties. Option 1, when we go through any poem. Option 2, when we are told to define beauty. And option 3, when we appreciate beauty. And option 4, when we are told to define truth. So we face difficulties. We feel difficulties when option 2, we are told to define beauty. So option 2 is the correct answer for question J. We face difficulties when we are told to define poetry, because it is difficult to define beauty. Now question K. Who is the writer of the celebrated poem Ode on a Grecian Urn? Who is the writer of Shakespeare, Browning, Wordsworth, or John Keats? And we know that John Keats is the celebrated writer of Ode on a Grecian Urn. Now there are some more questions. What has the poet written in Ode on a Grecian Urn? Option 1, death is inevitable. Option 2, man is a social being. Option 3, beauty is truth, beauty. And option 4, truth shall prevail. Death is inevitable. Dear learners, here inevitable means অবশ্যই বা অবশ্যম্ভাবী. Death is inevitable means মৃত্যু নিশ্চিত বা মৃত্যু অবশ্যম্ভাবী বা মৃত্যু হবেই. So the question is, what has the poet written in Ode on a Grecian Urn? And the answer is option 3, beauty is truth, beauty. Question M, ugliness is an dash part of human life. Ugliness is an dash part of human. Which part? Option 1, indefinite. Option 2, inseparable. Option 3, inner. And option 4, indivisible. So inseparable is the correct answer. Ugliness is an inseparable part of human life. Here inseparable means which we cannot separate. That is যেটা ছেদ করা যাবে না বা যেটাকে সেপারেট করা যাবে না. Ugliness is an inseparable part of human life. Now question N, what do poets and artists incorporate into their work? What do poets and artists incorporate into their work? Option 1, truth. Option 2, beauty. Option 3, beauty and truth. And option 4, beauty and ugliness. So here option 2, beauty is the correct answer. What do poets and artists incorporate in their work? And the answer is beauty. Question O, which of the following is incorrect for John Keats? Which of the following is incorrect for John Keats? Option 1, unpleasant truth is beautiful. Beauty manifests itself forever. Option 3, an ever beautiful thing is true. And option 4, truth belongs to art. So which will be the correct answer, dear learners? Let's try. I think option 4 is the correct answer. Truth belongs to art. So which of the following is incorrect for John Keats? Truth belongs to art is the incorrect for John Keats. Now this is the solution to question 1, dear learners. I have already discussed MCQ questions with answer. You can write down the answer in your khatas as well. Okay, for question A, option 4 is the correct answer, that is to limit. For question B, option 2 is the correct answer, celebrates poetry. For question C, option 2, beauty is an important part of life, is the correct answer. For question D, option 1, that is option 1, celebrated is the correct answer. For question E, option 2, ignored is the correct answer. For question F, option 3, ugliness is the correct answer. For question G, option 2, beauty is the correct answer. You can also check your answer whether it is right or wrong. Now question H, option 3, unpleasurable objects and sights is the correct answer. For question I, option 1, beauty is the correct answer. For question J, option 2, when we are told to define beauty is the correct answer. For question K, option 4, John Keats is the correct answer. For question L, option 3, Beauty is truth. Truth, beauty is the correct answer. For question M, option 2, inseparable is the correct answer. And for question N, option 2, beauty is the correct answer. And for question O, option 4, truth belongs to art is the correct answer. So you can check your answer script whether you have given the answer true or false, or it is right or wrong. Now, clause test with clues. I have made a clause test with clues that is made from your text-based clause test. Here are some clues. You have to use these clues to fill in the blanks, and you have also you have to make some grammatical changes also to fill in the blanks of this clause test with clues. Here there are some clues, and they are behold, repulse, ugly, pleasure, depend, see, manifest, profuse, hungry, define, perception, and projection. There are 12 clues, but you have to use 10 clues. So there are 2 clues are extra, and you have to choose the correct answer for each gap. Let's start the text. Beauty is easy to appreciate but difficult to what? So which will be the correct answer for gap A? I think here is a word define, and you have to use to define. So beauty is easy to appreciate but difficult to define. As we look around, we discover beauty in dash objects and sights in nature. So which will be the correct answer for gap B? I think here pleasure you have to change it as pleasurable. So we discover beauty in pleasurable objects and sights in nature, in the laughter of children, in the kindness of strangers. But asked to define, we run into questions or difficulties. Does beauty have an independent objective identity? Is it universal, or is it option C? Which will be the correct answer? Dependent. Here depend is a word, you have to change it as dependent. Or is it dependent on our sense? And for question D, or option for gap D, sense perceptions. Here is a word perception, and you have to write down perceptions. Does it lie in the eye of the for gap E? Which will be the correct answer for gap B? Here is the word behold, and you have to change it as beholder. Does it lie in the eye of the beholder? Does it lie in the eye of the beholder? Now some more options, some more gap. We ask ourselves, a further difficulty arises when beauty dash itself not only by its presence but by its absence as well. So which will be the correct answer for gap F? Here is the word manifest, and you have to write down as it manifest. When beauty manifests, here beauty is third person singular number, and you know that after that you have to add s or es after the verb. So when beauty manifests itself not only by its presence but by its absence as well, as when we are for gap G by ugliness and desire beauty. Which will be the correct answer for gap G? Here is a word repulse, and you have to use it as repulsed by ugliness and desire beauty. Here is also a grammatical change, and I know I would like to say my learners to read the grammar again, to read the rules of the grammar, because for clause test with clue, when you will fill the gaps, you have to know the rules of grammar. But then ugliness has as much a place in our lives as beauty, or maybe more, as when there is widespread here is a word hungry. Here you can use it as hunger. Is widespread hunger and injustice in a society. Philosophers have told us that beauty is an important part of life, but isn't. I is here I, which will be the correct answer for gap I. Ugliness, here is the word ugly, and you can use it as ugliness, but isn't ugliness a part of life too? And if art has beauty as an important ingredient, can it confine itself only is to a for gap J of beauty? Which will be the correct answer for gap J? Here projection is the correct answer for gap J. I repeat, and if art has beauty as an important ingredient, can it confine itself only is to a projection of beauty? Can art ignore what is not beautiful? So here is the solution to question 2. Dear learners, you can check it out. You can write this answer in your khata also. For question for gap A, to define is the correct answer. For gap B, pleasurable is the correct answer. For gap C, dependent is the correct answer. For gap D, perceptions is the correct answer. For gap E, beholder is the correct answer. For gap F, manifest is the correct answer. For gap G, repulse is the correct answer. For gap H, hunger is the correct answer. For gap I, ugliness is the correct answer. And for gap J, projection is the correct answer. So dear learners, please check the answer and please write it in your khata for future use. Now clause test without clues. Here there will be no clues for you. You have to fill the gaps with your own, and you can use some grammatical rules. There may be some grammatical change in each gap, so please be careful before fill the gap, because you have to know the grammatical rules to fill in the blanks. Let's start. All of us know what a dream is. I think you have already studied the passage dream, and I have made a clue from the passage dream of your text. All of us know what a dream is. Generally, we dream during our sleep. Our dreams may dash to be a short or long lasting. So which will be the correct answer for gap A? Dreams may appear to be short or long lasting. So you can use appear for gap A. Sometimes we say, I dreamed for the whole night. Sometimes we say, I dreamed for the whole night. But do we really dream for the whole night? Some dreams are sweet or dash. Some are horrible. So which will be the correct answer for gap B? Here you can use pleasant. You can write pleasant. Some dreams are sweet or pleasant. Some are horrible. When we dream something extremely bad, we call it a dash. So which will be the correct answer for gap C? We call it a nightmare. Nightmare means dushapno. When we dream something extremely bad, we call it a nightmare. This is interesting that dreams have no dash. So which will be the correct answer for gap D? I think color. This is interesting that dreams have no color. They are soft, dash and dash. So which will be the correct answer for gap E and F? They are soft, shadowy and short lasting. Short lasting means খুবই অল্প সময়ের জন্য স্বপ্ন আমাদের আসে. They are soft, shadowy and short lasting. You can also use other words as well. And do you know how the words dash, gap G and gap H differ from dream? So please think Which will be the correct answer for gap G and for gap H? I'd like to give the answer. Do you know how the words reverie and hallucination differ from dream? Do you know any dreamer? Do you know any dreamer? The dream we have during the daytime is called daydream. The dream which we have during the daytime is called daydream, that is দিবা স্বপ্ন। কিছু স্বপ্ন রাতে দেখা হয়, কিছু দিনে। Sometimes we long for something passionately, we call that a dream as well. I repeat the line again. Sometimes we long for something passionately, we call that a dream as well. Here is the solution to question 3. Dear learners, you can also write these answers in your khata, or those who has already given your answer in the comment box, please check it out. For question A, for gap A, appear is the correct answer. For gap B, pleasant is the correct answer. For gap C, nightmare is the correct answer. For gap D, color is the correct answer. For gap E, shadowy is the correct answer. For gap F, short lasting is the correct answer. For gap G, reverie is the correct answer. For gap H, hallucination is the correct answer. For gap I, dreamer is the correct answer. And for gap J, daydream is the correct answer. So this is the answer of clause test without clues. Now I have made some open-ended questions, that is called short questions for you. You have to write this answer in your khatas. Actually this is a sample answer I have made for you. You can also write the answer according to your own way, according to your own language. You can write the answer in your own language. Okay, for question A, from where can we discover beauty? From where can we discover beauty? Okay, I write the answer in this way, that we can discover beauty in pleasurable objects and sights, in nature, in the laughter of the children, and in the kindness of strangers. You can write in your own way, in your own language as well. Okay, for question B, how do poets and artists provide answer about the questions on how to define beauty? Again, I repeat the question, how do poets and artists provide answer about the questions on how to define beauty? Very important question. And the answer is, beauty is appreciated easily, but to define beauty is not easy. When poets and artists try to define beauty, some questions arise in their mind. To provide an answer for their questions, they incorporate beauty and ugliness into their work. They often tie beauty to truth and justice, and on the other hand, they try to represent some truth about life from what is not beautiful in life. Question C. When does ugliness occupy a place in our lives? When does ugliness occupy a place in our lives? And the answer is, ugliness occupies a place in our lives when we detest ugliness and desire beauty. I repeat the line, ugliness occupies a place in our lives when we detest ugliness and desire beauty. The widespread hunger and injustice of the society, the two ugly things, certainly occupy a strong place in our lives. Nobody can deny it. Question D. Beauty is truth, truth beauty. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Give reason. It is another important question, and this line was taken from John Keats' famous poem Ode on a Grecian Urn. Okay, here is the answer. Yes, I agree with the idea of the verse. Beauty is truth and truth beauty of John Keats' poem Ode on a Grecian Arm, because through this verse the poet wants to mean that truth, even if it is not pleasant, becomes beautiful at a higher level. Similarly, what is beautiful remains true forever. Here, in the context of the Grecian urn, it is said that truth is a condition of art. Broadly speaking, it is asserted that beauty and truth are interrelated to each other. I repeat the line, beauty and truth are interrelated to each other. Now question E, when do we run into difficulties? When do we run into difficulties? And the answer is, it is very much pleasant to see beauty, but it is very difficult to define it. We simply get lost and run into difficulties when we are asked to define beauty. Beauty is an important part of life, is said by philosophers in the passage. Philosophers also say so because there is no meaning of life without beauty. Even we should find our beauty in ugliness in life. Even we should find out beauty in ugliness in life. Is ugliness a part of life? If so, how? Yes, ugliness is certainly a part of life, and there cannot be a life without ugliness. Sufferings, sorrows, miseries, frustrations, and disapprovals are the integral part of our lives. What has John Keats written in Ode on a Grecian Urn? The answer is, in his Ode on a Grecian Urn, John Keats has written that beauty is truth, truth, beauty. Okay, thank you dear learners. I think you have enjoyed a lot. Today I have discussed a lot. I have discussed Unit 5, Lesson 1, what is beauty. I tried to give the definition of beauty, and you have also enjoyed the summary of the passage, some MCQ questions. We have practiced some MCQ question. We have practiced clause test with clues, clause test without clues, and after that we have also discussed some open-ended questions. So I think you can understand the passage in a very befitting manner, and you know that now the second wave of coronavirus is going on, so please stay home and stay safe. Use mask when you want to go outside. Please use mask and stay home, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.